What do dreams mean? While I'm no dream expert, this topic is fascinating to me. Do you believe that your dreams have hidden meanings? Do you think that they tell you something that has to do with your past, your present, or future? How do you interpret your dreams? Or perhaps you don't give them much thought at all. But what if I were to tell you that you could use your dreams to heal your deepest wounds and profoundly shift your outlook and attitude in life? Hi, I'm Dora, holistic stress and resilience coach from Dora Chan Yoga. Welcome to my weekly Tuesday Connect, where we talk about various topics on how to achieve whole person wellness in body, mind, and soul. So let's talk about our dreams. We normally have, a certain number of dreams throughout the night, and we go through different sleep stages when we sleep. And our brain, when we sleep, it's not dormant. It actually goes through different brainwave patterns and different levels of consciousness in the different stages of sleep. Now, we do most of our dreaming in the first half of the night. We do most of our dreaming in the second half of the night in the sleep stage called REM sleep, or REM, which stands for rapid eye movement sleep. So let me try this again, the first half of the night more in your deep sleep, so less in your REM sleep. But as the night progresses, we gradually increase the duration and also the amount of and the times that we stay in the REM sleep. And so, even though dreaming could occur throughout the night, we tend to get the longest and most vivid dreams closer to the early morning. And we tend to also remember our last dream the best. So, if we were to look at dreams from the scientific perspective, the REM sleep stage helps us to improve our creativity. Usually, in our conscious or awakened state, your brain tends to make connections or associations of your various memories that, say, are closer together, if you like. So, for instance, if you were to hear barking, you would likely associate with, say, your neighbor's dog. Because from your experience in your reality, there are certain groups of things, people, or circumstances that go together, that are or frequently come up together. So those are, you can, say these things are grouped together or closer together, right? And so, so this is what your brain does. It automatically groups things together in a way that makes logical sense to you. It's just more efficient than to analyze each individual item and assess how it connects your life, right? Connects with your life. Whereas, when you see things in groups, things are more efficient and it just makes things a little bit more functional for us in our day-to-day lives. But if that's all that we do, then we would be pretty much stuck in our ways and unable to make connections or associations between things that don't normally go together. And this would drastically decrease our creativity and the ability to think outside of the box. So this is where REM sleep could help balance things out. When we are in this stage, we dream. And when we dream, the brain is making associations not between memories that are usually close together or grouped together, but it starts to make associations with memories that are far away from each other. So for instance, in your awakened state, if you see a flying animal, you would not think that it would be a pig, right? Because flying and pig they just don't go together by your logic. But yet, this can happen in your dream. And you may even feel that it's completely plausible in your dream. Dreaming allows us to get creative, to make connections with things that we don't normally make connections with, things that don't normally make sense to us. And in doing so, enhances our creativity, inspires innovation, and helps us to think outside of the box. And we may even gain some pretty deep insights from dreams. So, for instance, the author Mary Shelley, who wrote the world's first sci-fi novel in the early 19th century, the story of Frankenstein, she wrote this novel after a vivid dream, or a nightmare, as she called it. Paul McCartney claims to have composed the entire melody for the hit song Yesterday in a dream. The father of quantum mechanics, Niels Bohr, said that it was a dream that led him to discover the structure of the atom. And Albert Einstein came to discover the principle of relativity after having a vivid dream. So dreaming is so essential to our being. Now, even though this may explain, one of the reasons that might explain why we dream, this is not the full story. While our brains can make, faraway connections in the dream state so that we can come up with, stories that don't always make sense to us, this is not all random. In the dream state, the story, the narrative, the images all have to come from somewhere. And since when we're asleep and not participating in the external world, the whole makeup of the dream, so the setting, the characters, the story, the images, they're all sourced from within us, from ourselves, right? And because for most of us, our conscious minds are usually not participating while we are dreaming or sleeping, this means that our dreams give us a glimpse of our unconscious minds. It tells a story of what is underneath all of the distractions of the external world that we usually direct our attention to during the waking state, and we are invited to explore the deepest layers of ourselves. Now, if you follow my mini trainings, you may often hear me talk about how our actions, attitudes, behaviors, triggers, reactions, habits, personalities, they're all the result of our past conditionings and traumas. We suffer and continue to suffer when we have old wounds that have been buried deep within us. They are buried so deep that we are no longer conscious of them. But it doesn't mean that they're not there anymore, and it doesn't mean that they don't, influence our lives anymore. In fact, they continue to show up in our lives in various ways, perpetuating our pain and suffering. And this cycle will continue until we are able to acknowledge them, which hopefully can lead us to processing them so that they can be released. Now, there are many ways and many different modalities that are effective in helping us to process past traumas, which we all have on some level. We may not all have experienced the big T traumas, events that are horrific and traumatic, but we have all experienced negative emotions that we have not processed properly, which make up our small T traumas. And like I said, these are usually unconscious to us. We may live most of our lives enslaved to these traumas that we carry, unaware that they're there, but then continue to get triggered by other people, situations around us, time and time again. And instead of looking within to see where or what the core of the issue is, we tend to look at what or who triggered us and think that that is the problem. In our dreams, we are given a special opportunity to awaken to deeper emotions trapped within us. And once we are aware, we can start to work towards resolving and healing our internal conflicts. Being aware is the first step. So the next time you have a significant dream, give yourself a moment upon waking just to sit and receive the dream. Notice how you are feeling in your body, what emotions you are feeling, what sensations are present in your body. And maybe nothing makes sense to you in the dream, and that's okay. We're not here to try to analyze and get into our cognitive mind again, but rather let's learn to stay with the body. Because our unconscious speak to us through our body. So our dreams likely evoke some sort of emotions, even if the content didn't make sense to you. Stay with what is the feeling of the dream. Can you stay with the essence of the dream? And if you're able to do that, just be with that. There's no need to fix or change anything. There's not even a need to understand it. Can you just be with what's present for just a moment? Now, if you're able to do this more and more often, you will start to increase your awareness. You'll be more attuned to your body. You'll be able to find that reconnection between body and mind. And all of these have a myriad of health benefits that I won't have time to get into in this training. But in particular to what we are talking about today, this practice will help you to bring the unconscious to the conscious level, where we can then actually be proactive about resolving and healing these past emotional wounds that are still affecting us today. There's so much more that we can talk about in relation to this topic, in relation to sleep, to lucid dreaming, to dream yoga, to sleep yoga, and yoga nidra. And yoga nidra, which is an ancient meditation or yogic meditation, the Sanskrit word is translated to mean something like yogic sleep or the sleep of a yogi. And all of these are very interesting topics that I can easily talk about hours and hours on. And obviously we don't have the time here, but hopefully maybe perhaps we can go into some of these topics in the future mini trainings. If you are interested to learn more about sleep, dreams, yoga nidra, meditation, or perhaps you're just not getting the good quality sleep that you need to actually start having dreams, so you're not dreaming, and that could be maybe it's more of a pressing issue for you to get some restful sleep. Don't hesitate to reach out. You can always DM me here, or you can book a free consultation with me and we can chat more about this or more about anything that you might be working on or you might need a little bit more support on. So I'll drop the booking link in the comments below. So let me know your thoughts, your feelings, comments, questions. Drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this mini training, make sure you follow me at Dora Chen Yoga. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I also have a private Facebook group called DCY Community, supporting strong women heal from stress holistically. And I stream these trainings live. And also share other resources, tips, tools, guest training, special offers in that group. So I'll drop the link below also if you wanted to join me there. But yeah, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Bye now.